Hello and welcome to Dan's Little Thing. I'm your host, Danielisweird, and it's lovely to be back. I've been away for a while, but I don't think I've missed much since I last was here.
Donald Trump has defeated Hillary Clinton to become president-elect of the United States.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
A general election to be held on the 8th of June. Strong and stable leadership. A strong and stable leadership. Strong and stable government. Strong and stable leadership of a Conservative government. The threat level should be increased for the time being from severe to critical.
There is going to be a hung parliament. No surprise there.
You tell me. You line up a number of Muslims. Who's the good one? Who's not?
Oh boy. That sure is a lot to catch up on. Well, was there anything nice that happened?
The gift of giving this Christmas hasn't been lost on two Wollongong brothers who've surprised their mum with the ultimate present.
New car. Well, they've got a push button that's coming out.
No.
Oh, that was nice. Well, okay, was there anything that was non-politically funny? Maybe locally, here in Perth?
The man can clearly be seen holding a gun.
We sort of went into a bit of a mum panic.
But the gun wasn't loaded with bullets. Instead, it was a tranquilizer gun to help relocate kangaroos in the area. As new housing estates pop up in the area, kangaroos have been ending up in residential streets after a fence was erected at the local golf club.
Okay, great. Well, what a world we live in, huh? Donald Trump's president, there's a hung parliament in the UK, there's been terror attacks ravaging the world for months now, and there's a significant cultural and religious divide going on in the world, and my state was worried about a bloke with a kangaroo gun. That is great. But at least it's ridiculousness that we're privileged to have. I mean, look over at the US government. It's in chaos for all intents and purposes. Multiple cabinet positions haven't been filled. Just the other day, Trump had all his cabinet members in for an 11-minute televised meeting that was nothing but a very loud circle jerk for the commander-in-chief himself that basically had nothing to do with policy. It just essentially was them saying what their job was and then giving him praise.
Greatest privilege of my life is to serve as vice president to a president who's keeping his word to the American people.
It's great to be here and celebrate this group. Great success.
Mr. President, honored to be on the team. This last week, I had the great privilege to represent America.
And look at his face. He's delighted by it. He looks like a kid on Christmas who's also on crack. It's ridiculous to think that someone who is such a prominent world leader is so caught up in the way that other people think about him. And it's made worse by the fact that he's seemingly getting investigated for obstruction of justice after saying he wasn't being investigated and then admitting that he was. As baffling as it all is, if you take a look across the pond at Theresa May, she's not having a great day either. She just had to recently call a hung parliament after moronically forcing a snap election and losing seats in the House, having to form an unstable and weak coalition of chaos with the DUP party, a party whose manifesto was 66 books long. All of this can be remedied by photos of Trump holding an orb in Saudi Arabia or Theresa May standing next to Lord Buckethead, but the fact of the matter is that this is all underscored by global ridiculousness. The fact that the US pulled out of the Paris Agreement, the fact that the UK is pulling out of the EU. Here in Australia, we're just pulling out of winter. I mean, there's not a lot that goes on here. We have Pauline Hanson, who occasionally kicks up a fuss over immigration, foreigners, and vaccines, and our opposition leader just criticizes the Prime Minister. And to be honest, all Turnbull really does is go about his business and rim Trump whenever he needs to. Or at least I thought he did, until miraculously a hilarious video of him roasting Donald Trump leaked out to the internet.
Donald and I, we are winning and winning in the polls. We are winning so much. We are winning like we have never won before. We are winning in the polls. We are. Not the fake polls. Not the fake polls.
It really does go to show, because I was thinking that Turnbull was just a rim to Trump, because I remember a few months ago, he went to New York, he had a meeting, he was praising the passing of Trump's healthcare bill when their healthcare bill is completely different to Australia's healthcare. But then you realise he was just playing into his ego. He doesn't take him seriously, and world leaders don't take Trump seriously. It's a shame, but to be honest, when you get a funny roast like that, it's all good fun and games. The point that I'm trying to make is that everything's politically divided. Prime ministers don't like presidents, foreign leaders don't like other foreign leaders. There are stark religious and cultural divides because there's terrorism running rampant throughout Europe and America. What I'm saying is that I'm here to answer the call. World, I've heard you. You need someone who is stable and strong and is able to look at the world with a level-headed and even-minded viewpoint. Together, we're going to embark on a journey where we dissect and make sense of the world around us. Even if you don't want me to take you on that journey. I know you didn't ask for this, but it's something that I want to do. So I pledge myself to commenting and joking about the news at least once a week to make sense of this crazy world. And even more importantly, I promise to wear a suit, even though I don't need to. Because if there's one thing I know, it's that the world doesn't want or need me to comment on the news, but I want to do it, so I'm going to. And I promise that I'll do this for as long as you need me, world. Or until I get bored and don't make an episode for a few months. But until then, I'm Danielisweird. This is Dan's Little Thing. Thank you very much for watching. Oh boy, that was some fun. I hope that was alright. Please come back for another episode. And for those who don't know what the Democratic Unionist Party is, and for